What is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm sorry that this is a little bit later of a review than I had promised, but hey, life happens. Now, last night, I stayed up until about 4 o'clock in the morning watching Zack Snyder's Justice League. And let me tell you, this movie blew my mind. Before we get into it, there will not be any spoilers. Absolutely zero spoilers for the movie. Oh, God, I don't even know where to start. How do I feel about this movie? I mean, this movie, it is everything that I could have ever wanted from a Justice League 1, right? Like this has everything that you need in it, and then so much more that you didn't know you needed, but it shows such a perfect look into what Zack Snyder really wanted, what he wants to do in the future, and it is such a beautifully crafted and such a it's a piece of art, it really is, and it's mind-blowing. I don't know how many times I was sitting watching that movie and thinking, how in the world does Walter Hamada, Joss Whedon, Tony Emmerich, how do these people still have jobs after what they did to this movie? Watching this movie, obviously there's still the initial story, right? Steppenwolf's coming to town, got to do the mother boxes, and, the Justice League's got to come together to beat him, right? But, that's all it has in common with the 2017. Even in the scenes that are similar, or the ones that are left over because Zack did originally shoot them, they're either shot from a different angle, they're shot better, there's better CGI, there's a better way of exploring that scene, exploring even the world that it's in, and there's just so much better explanation as to what's going on and why these characters are the way they are. Their motivations are so much better. We'll get into characters here in a little bit, but this was everything, right? This is everything that I've been reading as a kid. This is everything that I've been watching in the Justice League animated series, the various animated movies. This is everything that I wish would be the follow-up to Batman vs. Superman, which up until last night was my favorite superhero movie, period. Now it is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Words do not do this movie justice. It is meant to be watched. It is meant to be experienced. So obviously, I've already answered this question, but the big question going into this was, is this really a better movie than 2017? And it's not even close to 2017. It is so much better. It is mind-boggling how much better of a film this movie is than that just heap of garbage that we got in 2017. It's mind-boggling. So, moving into the characters, right? Cyborg steals this movie. While all these characters are fantastic, while they all get enough time to breathe and shine and show why they're here, Cyborg really is the heart and soul of Zack Snyder's Justice League. The levity and the emotions and I would almost say the temptations that Ray Fisher brings forward with Cyborg it's insane, and it's honestly disgusting and heart-wrenching, and it's heartbreaking what they did to this character and how horribly that he was butchered in 2017's Justice League. It's they went out of their way to make him useless, to make him awkward, to make him unwanted. They went out of their way to ruin this character, and after this, there are a few movies that I want, but I never thought that the movie that I want, that's just the second to Justice League 2, is Cyborg's solo movie. I want more of Cyborg because in this movie, there's a 45-minute Cyborg movie, and it's fantastic. Oh my God, Cyborg is fantastic in this movie. Yeah, big props to Ray Fisher for what he did with this character, what he brought forward with this character, and just the humanity that he brought with Cyborg. Moving on to Wonder Woman. We all know Wonder Woman's awesome. We all know she's a badass. But this is not Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman. This is Zack Snyder's Wonder Woman. And she does not mess around. She is graceful. She is gorgeous. She is a leader. She is a warrior. Oh my gosh. Like, for those of you, I never really thought I had to rewatch 300 before watching this movie because there is so much leftover DNA of 300 in this movie. The way the Amazonians fight, the way Wonder Woman does not mess around. She kills in this movie. Like, she just straight up murders people, and it is fantastic. They keep the scene with the terrorists that are robbing the bank in 2017, right? They keep that film, but it's completely different. Like, Wonder Woman is throwing dudes against walls, and their heads are cracking against the walls, and there's blood and brains going everywhere, right? I'm pretty sure she makes a dude explode when she slams her gauntlets together. Like, it's so violent and awesome. But then she immediately turns around and consoles the children that are about to get murdered by these people. And she shows her grace and her elegance. And there's a beautiful, beautiful scene between her and this little girl where she's scared and she asks Wonder Woman, like, can I be like you? And she looks at her and smiles and says, you can be whatever you want. And that's awesome. It's so awesome what Wonder Woman does in this film. And there's so much more to her as the film carries on that I won't get into because of spoilers. But my word, she's amazing. Batman. I hated what they did to Batman in Justice League 2017. I thought they absolutely neutered that character. And Batman is my favorite superhero, period. And they neutered him. They made him just this like weak, spineless, he's not even Batman anymore. He's just a weird dude in a leather suit. But in this movie, this is the clear progression of the Batman versus Superman Batman. The Batman that has regret, the Batman that realizes he went way too far in Batman vs. Superman and almost killing Superman. He has guilt over Superman's death, and he's doing what he can to bring the Justice League together. He's a fantastic leader. Him and Gal Gadot, him and Wonder Woman have amazing chemistry. Watching them on screen together is fantastic. We get a lot more Alfred in this movie, so watching them bounce off of each other again is nothing short of spectacular. This Batman is very lived in, and this is not a spoiler, in my opinion, because it is in the trailer. Joker is in the movie. And I'm trying to not spoil things. The conversation that goes between Batman and Joker, I loved it. It answers questions. It sets up a huge future. It is fantastic. I went in because I knew Joker was in it. I knew they were going to meet. And in my head, I was like, okay, there is one thing they have to talk about. And it turns out that's pretty much the only thing they talk about. And it is fantastic. And I just cannot wait to see if they continue this universe, if they bring things forward. Speaking about another villain, a Bat villain that's in this movie, again, he was in the trailers. He was in the 2017 movie Deathstroke. Looking at Joe Manganiello, whatever his last name is, he looks fantastic as Deathstroke. And it turns out that Joss Whedon even changed the post-credit scene with him and Lex Luthor. And the real post-credit scene that we get here is fantastic. Again, it sets up a big future that I really hope we get, because it's just awesome seeing what this was supposed to be. And then seeing a continuation of Deathstroke later in the film is fantastic. Superman, right? You can't talk about Justice League without getting into Superman. again, it's not a spoiler that he's in this movie. And we knew he was going to be in it, right? We knew he was going to be in the black suit, which is absolutely stunning. Stunning. But when he shows up, the exact moment that he shows up, I jumped out of my seat because, and it was just so amazing because I forgot he came back. Like, there's so much in that final battle. The tension building is so immaculate and it's so perfect that it was like, how are they going to get out of this situation? And Superman shows up and it's fantastic. He kicks so much ass and it is just amazing seeing Superman be super. Like this Superman is not messing around. Just like Wonder Woman, he is a warrior. He is a brawler. Like, you don't get in this guy's way. Like, he is not here to mess around. Seeing Superman be like that was amazing. The Flash was so much better. Like, everything in this movie, he was so much better. He's funnier. Honestly, the wit is better. He's a lot more likable, and he's a lot more powerful. Whether it's him running around saving people or it's him using his powers of speed as much as he probably can at this point in his career, seeing him do that and doing things that I can't get into, but the things that he does at the end of this movie, this is something I have only seen in comics. Like, it is fantastic what they do. And so if you're a fan of the Flash comic books, if you're a fan, honestly, if you're a little bit of a fan of the Flash TV show, at least in the way they try to show his powers, like, you're going to love this Flash. This is Barry Allen at some of his best. He is spectacular. Ezra Miller absolutely knocked it out of the park with Barry Allen. And the scenes with his dad are better. They're so much better. They're a lot more touching. They're a lot more impactful. Like, it is an amazing showcase. Even Aquaman gets more love. You get to see a little bit more of Mera. You get to see Volko. He got completely cut out of the 2017 movie. So being able to see him interact and with those two characters more, seeing a little bit more of Atlantis, not to the scale of the Aquaman movie, but seeing a little bit more of Atlantis, spending a little more time there, and just seeing his backstory about, like, why is he joining the League? Why is he reluctant to really just do anything with his life? Like, he's a very sad character, but watching him evolve and become a part of the team was so amazing. And before I move on to my last two subjects, just seeing the Justice League come together. The team dynamic was so fantastic in this movie, and seeing them just bounce off of each other and play together and fight together, it was nothing short of spectacular. Like, it's the Justice League. Like, I want to call it, Zack Snyder's Justice League because it is. But at the end of the day, this is the Justice League. Like, this is everything that any DC fan has ever wanted. Like, this is what we've finally been waiting for. And the road has been long and hard, but we're finally here. So that brings me to really the most important character of this movie, Zack Snyder himself. I have been a huge, huge fan of the guy since Dawn of the Dead back in 2004. And I followed him through 300, Watchmen, and then finally I even liked Sucker Punch. Not a fantastic movie, but it's fun. And so finally when he moved into the DC universe proper and he did Man of Steel, loved it. Batman vs. Superman, saw that in the theaters 11 times. And now we finally get his Justice League. And what this man and his family have had to go through with the passing of their daughter, having to step down and removed from this, knowing he's never watched 2017, but knowing about how they butchered his film, him just getting almost red listed from Hollywood, or from Warner Brothers because of how poor Justice League was, but then the fans rallying together and just giving a giant middle finger to the studio and saying, no, We know what we want. We know what he has, and we want all of it. And now we have this 4-hour epic. And just a huge, huge thank you to Zack Snyder for what he has done with these characters. He clearly cares. He clearly has a passion for not only filmmaking, for not only pleasing his fans, but he has a passion for the DC canon, right? He has passion for these characters, and he treats every single character in this movie. And I'm not even going to go into the villains because I feel like it's a whole nother episode, but the villains are just amazing, and he treats them with so much respect. He brought us Darkseid, and it was, oh my gosh, seeing Darkseid. I'm not going to even get into it so I don't spoil it, but just Darkseid is here, and he's pissed, and you don't mess with Darkseid. Like, we got just the tip of the iceberg in this movie of how deadly this guy can be. He's treated with so much respect, and just seeing, like, Darkseid is a villain made for Zack Snyder to do, and I really hope he can continue this universe. And even if he can't, just what we've gotten with this movie is just something to be beheld. Like, thank you to Zack Snyder and to HBO Max for allowing him to continue it and distribute it and pump the money into it. Big thank you to Zack Snyder for what he's done in this movie. I know it means the world to the fans around the globe, and it means the absolute world to me. So just one more time, thank you so much to Zack Snyder for this film. We could talk about the future. We don't know how certain it is. And we're going to be doing a little Snyder Cut panel here in a couple of weeks, a long form with me and a few of my especially nerdy friends. And we could talk about the future of the DCEU then, but if they decide to move forward, the DCEU future is very bright, but it's also very dark. In the best of ways, it's very dark. But before I close out here, for those of you who have been following the Release the Snyder Cut movement and who have been following the tragic loss of Snyder's daughter, you know that the crux of this film, the most important thing to come out of it from all the fundraising, the fan advertisement, the fan petitions, all of the money that's been raised has gone to suicide prevention, which is nothing short of beautiful, you know. So I'll put some links in the description below for not only ways that you can donate direct to the AFSP website. You can go ahead and buy some merch off of Ink the People. They just got a restock on all their Zack Snyder shirts. And all of those proceeds, again, go to suicide prevention. Of course, I'll also put some support links in there so that if you yourself are struggling, there will be links in our description so you can have the resources that you need. 'Cause it's so important, especially in a post-COVID world. I mean, this is a horrible year that we just went through, a year and some change. And we all know how bad it's gotten, so I'm not going to get into it, but just it's very important to reach out for help, reach out to those who might need help. And I just think that it's a beautiful thing that has to come out of this movie. So much awareness and anything that can make the discussion of suicide attempts, suicide prevention, getting help, anything that can make that conversation less taboo is perfect, obviously. I told myself this was going to be a short video, but we're already coming up on 20 minutes, so I'll cut it off here. Please go watch the Snyder Cut. Watch it legally, Support this movie. Support the director. We got it. Like, we won. We won. Like, the fans won. And now we get to reap the benefits. So do it properly. Support this movie. And now, if you want to see it continue, the only thing we can do is start #RestoreTheSnyderverse. I know I'm going to be supporting it. Last night, after I finished watching the film, I went and did my own donation, picked up some Snyder merch off of Ink the People, like I mentioned beforehand. So if you have a little bit extra coin lying around, it's going to a great cause, which is awesome. But we won. We won, guys. See you later.